Hey everybody, Mark here, Clark Commando 1983. Gonna just give you a little intro to GMT Games Red Winter. Um, Excellent game. I just have set up, which I know this isn't necessarily ideal. Um, have set up here is the tutorial scenario, and I'm just gonna give you a quick rundown. Um, the units and a little bit of the rules. Let's see here. My lighting's not ideal as usual. You'd think I have enough practice at this. So that's it. It's a company level game, and from left to right is 5 combat factor for it combat and assaults. 4 is the ranged attack value, has a range of up to 2 hexes they can shoot. And then a movement factor of 5. Okay. Let's see. I don't think it won't let me zoom in, will it? The rule book itself. Let's see here. Let me show you the different charts. This is the rule book. Printed on glossy paper, not my favorite. I like regular paper, but hey, sequence of play. Okay, and the rules come in at 21 pages, but it's pretty simple. A lot of the movement, you'd be surprised. So if you can see some of the terrain here, I'm going to point out all roads, no matter what type, or half a movement point each. And as long as you never come within 4 hexes start to end of an enemy unit, you get an extra 2 movement points. These white hexes here are frozen lake. The Finns get a movement bonus on the frozen lakes of, I believe it's a movement factor. Should know all this from doing a video. But hey guys, I just do this for fun. I really enjoy the hobby, enjoy the game. I wanted to show you this, what I got on the table. Let's see, I'll finish infantry, machine guns, mortars, engineer units, as well as the Petari leader are equipped with skis and pay only 1 movement point on frozen lake hexes. These other green hexes here are basically marsh, but they're frozen over. There's a Finnish word for it. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. So what I want to do here, I'm playing the tutorial scenario. It's 3 turns. The objective, which I believe you guys can see, is this little village here. It's not meant to be a competitive scenario. It's just to learn the rules. And basically anything's in play from here this way. So here we go. I'm going to do a quick turn here. Let me show you the movement factors and everything. I don't know, you probably can't actually see it on the video, but it's on the north part of the map here. This is the terrain effects chart. Woods cost 2, roads cost half. Frozen hexes cost 1.5 points. Except for, like we said, the Finnish ski units, they only cost 1 movement. There's some off-board artillery that can do, they just have a range attack factor, and there's ammo points. And the way they combat, basically they're off-board, they have unlimited range, as long as they have a spotter. That was a Russian. There's a Finnish. This game's currently out of print, but it is offered on the P500. So really pretty simple. I'm going to just kind of go through it. And so the Soviets are the first player. Each turn is, let's see, each day is 7 turns long. There's one night turn, and then you have different line of sight limitations based on fog and whatnot. So it's pretty simple. First units, each unit, the first player, Soviets, can do an action phase. Each unit can do a move and or assault. Obviously, the Soviet units are too far away to do any assaults. The way an assault works is you can move up. You cannot use the road movement cost. You pay the terrain when you move adjacent. So ZOCs, sorry, let me back up a second. Zones of control are not locking, but when you move adjacent, you stop. Unless you're going to assault. Then you pay the terrain cost +2 to do an assault. And if we get to there, I'll show you how to do an assault combat. But you can do move. You can attempt recovery. That's where reduced infantry company only. And there's a chart for that, which I'll show you when I get to the Finns, because they're going to do that. But let's do movement. So you can move one unit at a time or a stack. Really doesn't matter, I don't believe, at least in this case. So we're going to just advance down the road as a stack. We have 3 infantry companies with a movement of 5 and a machine gun unit with a movement of 4. So we're going to go, it's half movement point per hex. So 1, 2, I don't know if you can see there's a bridge here. It doesn't cost anything extra. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's where the machine gun unit has to get off because they get 2 extra movement points. So 6. And the infantry companies make it to here with 7. There's a mortar. This is a mortar unit. Only has a movement of 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Get to there. These guys are reinforcements. They just come on the board. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll go ahead and drop the machine gun unit off. 6, 7. So that's movement. There's no combat because we're not adjacent. There's no ranged. There's no spotters to these guys. So that's about all the Soviets can do this turn. The Finns, I'm going to try to play them a little bit differently. So you might, hopefully you can see this. Now, if they were going to assault, so if I put a Finnish unit here, let's see, 1, it'll be a half, 2.5, 3, 4, 5. So I can get away with putting a Finnish unit here. I'm going to do that. I'm trying something just a little bit different this time. We're going to leave these guys here to try to recover. And actually, I think that machine gun unit should be at full strength for this scenario. Sorry, I gotta remember to speak clearly when I'm shooting a video. Let's see here. Yes, the machine gun unit should be at full strength. So, flip him over. I got some bicycle battalions up here. It's the first turn. I'm going to leave them there to try to do a recovery. That's one of the things you can do in an action phase. So I'm going to show you the recovery table there. So you see, you roll one die, you got to get a 6. There's some modifiers there. There's no morale bonus in effect. Definitely more than 4 hexes away. So there's a +1. So they will recover on a 5 or a 6. The game comes with some nice dice. Very nice, good quality dice. So this guy moved, so he cannot try for recovery. Oh boy, okay, maybe can't do everything because I wanted to dig in, but I don't think, you know what, we're not going to bother with digging in because the Soviets are going to be upon us momentarily. So here we go. 5 or a 6. The company that didn't move here. Rolled a 3. No. So we'll roll 3 dice because there's 3 bicycle battalions up north there. Ooh, and 2 of them. That's nice. 2 of them recover. And that's the finish turn. That's literally how quick it goes, right? And like I said, this is just the tutorial. You can't see but we're going to advance. This scenario is only 3 turns long. So we're on the 2nd turn of the scenario. And we're going to go ahead and move. Let's see here. Half, 2, 4.5. We're going to spread out, and I'll show you why a little bit. We're going to move these Soviets up to attack. These guys are going to move. 1, 2. That's as close as the mortar can get. And these guys will go 1, 2, 3, 4. And you cannot use road movement to get adjacent. You cannot use road movement to get adjacent. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And movement of 4 on this machine gun unit. But it's able to get 1 extra. Normally it would be 2 extra movement, but you can't come within 4 of an enemy unit. So that's the Soviets. And how attacks work, normally you could do ranged attacks, which we're going to use to try to... So the victory conditions for this scenario are to take this town or eliminate 2 units from your opponent. So the Soviets, and I'll show you again, normally you can't, so any unit that's adjacent cannot do a ranged attack, right? But the artillery's off map. Let's see here. So strength 5. And you go to the ranged attack table. It's pretty simple. Okay, so there's the ranged attack table. Basically, you roll 2 dice. There's some modifiers, which none of them are going to apply in this case. Well, it does contain 1 or more infantry companies. So they get a +1 for each company. There's a company here, so that'll be a +1. The norm for combat is considered woods, so they don't really have any combat effect. Let's see, so there's some other modifiers here, but none apply. You roll 2 dice, so we're going to call in an artillery strike here. And we roll an 8. +5 is 13, +1 is 14. So that will place a suppression, which is the first time it's happened to me. So The Soviets get to place a suppression. And yes, I'm a counter clipper, so we're going to give this guy a little light clip. Get rid of those dog ears. Okay. And we place it suppressed. And we flip the artillery unit. And you can't see it, but they have 4 ammo. And each time you fire, you lose an ammo point. So they're down to 3. We'll try the second artillery unit, and things are not looking good for the Finns. That have been a mistake. Pushing them up. This is my second time playing this scenario, and artillery didn't do anything. So now that is, whoops, yeah. So what we're gonna do, the Finns have artillery, but they only have 2 artillery points. So I'm gonna save that for when they do the attack on the main village. So you just do a simple odds. So we have 9, 14 to 3. So it's 4 to 1 with 2 shifts to the right. And let's see, I don't believe there's any other modifiers. Let me show you the table. Simple table here, combat table. That's what we're doing. We're not doing assault, which is anti-tank fire. I'm just trying to give you a quick rundown. Numbers on the left are attacker losses. Numbers on the right are defender losses. But we're way up here on the 6 to 1 table. So it's looking pretty grim. Now you can take losses as retreats. So Soviets roll 2 dice, and they roll a 4, which is not too great. But that's, wow, the Finns really got lucky. That's a result of 1. So you can take the suppressions come off, because they're only there for the combat phase. Finn's going to have to retreat 1 hex. You can take losses as retreats, even for the attacker, except for in assaults. Then any losses have to be taken as step losses. The hex is vacant, so definitely we'll take advantage of that to advance in. And the reason is because if you're adjacent, the Finns can't roll for recovery, they can't dig in, so it kind of handicaps them a little bit. So we're going to move in like that, and that will complete the Soviet second turn. Then we're going to go flip this. The Finns are going to get to go. Can't recover, can't do much. So let's see here. How far can these bicycle units get? They have a movement of 6. 2 of them recovered. We're going to move them all up. It's a short scenario. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that's as far as they can get. We don't want to lose the village, so you can leave a Zoc for 1 movement point, and you have to stop if you enter another Zoc, so we definitely have enough movement to move into the village here. Which, actually, no, it's not. I thought for a second. It's just a village. Okay. So that's going to be the Finns' turn. And we're not using the artillery, because we want to save it for when the Soviets attack. So now we're in the third and final turn. First, when you fire your off-board artillery, flip it to its fired side. So the first thing you do when you go is you flip those back. So basically, there's no real secret here. We're going to move this stack 2, 3. I'm going to leave the machine gun unit there. By the way, stacking is 5 units, but only 3 can be infantry companies. So go 2, 3, 4, 5. Why? Because we're going to go out onto the ice here, 1.5, 2, because we want to get a concentric bonus. And we're going to move these other companies up. Now moving on to the ice, this guy has some risks, so we're going to go over that in just a second. And actually, even though like these guys were pretty close, right? You would say, "Oh, Mark, they should be able to assault the village, right?" And actually, they could have. I didn't do that, but okay, it's a learning scenario, right? So move this guy up because we're going to be able to shoot the mortar for support. So we're going to go all in. Now you can do defensive support, which I can't do that. You can't do ranged or ranged attacks, but I do have artillery. So I'm going to let the Finns shoot first. And they're going to get a shoot at this guy, I believe. Yeah, because it's frozen. I want to make sure I get a disruption in on the attack. So you get a +1 to your dice roll because it's a company, and a +2 because it's Soviets on the ice. So we'll fire artillery. This is defensive range support. So I rolled a 7, 8, 9, 10. You need a 14 or better. So no luck there. And then we'll go ahead and shoot into this hex because there's 2 infantry companies. Try to get a suppression on that. And no, the Finns fail miserably. So the Soviets are going to shoot their last 2 artillery. They're strength 5 plus a die roll. So 1 suppression. Ooh, 10. Man, those dice are hot. So 2 suppressions there. And then the mortar here is indirect fire weapon. Strength of 5. Wow, another suppression. So 3. And I don't believe, I'm going to look it up really quick. I don't believe there are any limits on the shifts. I could be wrong. Like I said, this is a learning scenario, tutorial. It looks like they have a pretty good shot at taking this hex. So let's see here. Suppressions, ammo, suppressions. Come on now. And it's armor. It's kind of cool. The Soviets can take armor in the regular scenarios. Let's see here. Suppress markers. Column shifts are cumulative to a maximum of 3 columns. Okay. So we're going to get 3 column shifts here because we got 3 suppressions. Defending the hex for the Finns are 6, 11 factors. Attacking for the Soviets are 5, 10, 15, 19, 24, 34 to 11. So that's a 3 to 1 with 3 shifts to the right. All right, so let's roll the dice. And this time we get an 8. 3 to 1 with 3 shifts to the right. So that's 4 losses for the Finns. And, well, that would be an automatic victory if we let them die. So we are going to retreat. Now we're retreating through a Zoc here. That's 1 hex. So retreating through a Zoc, and Mark, you did not do a very good job preparing for this, did you? So, sorry, mumbling, but I am having a good time, and I hope you guys are getting something out of this video. Let's see here, really quick. Retreat an enemy zone of control. Incur 1 step loss to the retreating stack. Okay, so like I said, you can take your losses retreat. So we're going to take all of them. Now, we don't want to lose an infantry company, so I'm going to flip the machine gun unit to satisfy the step loss for retreating through the Zoc. So that's 1 hex. And we're going to go 2, 3, 4. So that's where the Finns are going to end up. And the Soviets are going to be like, okay, we got this. We're going to advance into the hex. That's 1. Advancing after combat. Any or all attack is advanced, blah, blah, blah. So actually, I could have done a multi-hex advance, so I can go 1 there. Immediately after combat, may not conduct assault. Of their range, units can perform a second combat or participate following an advance. Ooh, nice. Multi-hex advances. Attacking units may advance an equal number of hex subject to the advance limit rule, which is their movement factor -2. So that means that they can actually advance two hexes. And I'm going to go ahead and to throw out a Zoc here, and I'll show you why in just a second. Okay. And because I think for all intents and purposes, this ends. So yeah, for all it ends the scenario, because the objective to win is this village, and there's virtually, I'm going to say, no way the Finns can muster enough of an attack to kick them out. So that's it. That's the tutorial scenario for Red Winter. Hopefully this video finds you well, and I will do more. This is Mark Ruggiero from Clark Commando 1983 signing off.